Well, hello, it's Andy from gaatech.com, and I'm saying hello to all the budding engineers at the Joseph Whitaker School. And I've got involved with one of their very interesting projects, and I'm very pleased that they contacted me. And I'm even more happier that I can actually help them. It's a very interesting project, and throughout this video you're going to find some information. I'm not sure how much I can release at the moment, but these school kids, driven by a fantastic teacher. Now, I never had a teacher like that when I was at school. Basically, they're making 2 rocket cars, and they're going for I believe a land speed record, and it's going to be held at Santa Pod. Now, those that you know what goes on at Santa Pod, you get some very, very fast cars racing up a 1/4 mile. And these budding engineers are designing, or they have designed this car. They've done some testing in plywood, which they've had laser cut, and now we're going to make their design in carbon fibre. And I must give out a big thank you to the guys at Easy Composites, because they've supplied the carbon fibre, and I believe they gifted that to the project. So credit to Easy Composites for them. And it's quite a big sheet carbon. It's a 2mm sheet, which is 950 by 1000, and then there's a smaller sheet of 3mm over there on the bench ready for cutting of some other parts. But say that's a nice gift towards the project. And what I'm doing, I'm actually cutting the carbon fibre for them to help them with the project. So it's going to be a very short video guided towards the engineers at the school, and you can see on the screen behind me, which I'll be zoom in later, that's your part ready. Let's just move out of the way. This is your part here, ready to be cut. This all looks complicated, this screen, but it's really not once you got your head into it. Half of it you don't use, but it looks pretty brutal. But basically what I've done over the last few days, your teacher Phil, Phil Worsley, I believe. Hopefully I got your name right there. He sent me your files, and what I've done, I've converted them into cutting file. There were a few errors on their double lines which we've deleted between ourselves, and the file's now ready for cutting. So we're in the workshop going to cut it very shortly. So the first bit I'm going to cut is the 2mm sheets. And basically that's going to be done in 3 operations. We're going to cut some all your slots first of all. So anywhere that you showed a slot, they're going to be the slots are going to be slotted. Then I'm going to change bits, and we're going to drill holes. Then we're going to change bits again, I believe, if I could remember the program, but the program will tell me as we go along. And then we're going to cut the outside. Because this carbon is very nice carbon, it's glossy one side, and they call it peel ply the other, which is slightly rough. And I personally haven't cut single-sided carbon before, so I use a mixture of techniques how to hold the parts down onto the CNC table. The CNC table is equipped with a vacuum hold down system, but because some of your parts are quite small, the vacuum isn't strong enough to be able to hold the parts down. So the other technique I use is sticking them down with like carpet tape, double-sided sticky tape, masking tape, a combination of tapes. But in your project, I'm going to use screws. I'm going to screw them down. So within your design, you have 3 and 4mm holes which have been put in there purely for that process. So you'll see me probably whizzing around. I'll fast forward the video because that's going to be pretty boring for you to watch me putting in 100-odd screws. So I'm going to hopefully put some stills in with this video as we go along, show the parts being washed at the end, blah 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 blah. And I thought it'd just be a nice idea for the engineers at the school just to see how your parts are being cut, because I believe you've got your own in-house laser, so you're probably familiar with how lasers work and how they cut. But this is going to be totally different. So I'm just going to pause the video now, get set up, and show you a bit of carbon fibre cutting. Cheers for now. Okay, so here we have the machine now set up. This is all the G code. This is the file that's been created from your CAD files that you sent me. And basically what this is, it's a series of numerical numbers which just tells where the CNC is to go. So that's this side. Here you'll see numbers flicking around, and this is where the X, Y and Z is. So at the moment you can see X and Y is at 0, and the bit is 45.7385 millimeters above the material. And in this box is the pattern of all your files. So you'll see the crosshair just there, right in the corner, is actually where the CNC router is parked at the moment, and that's the bottom left-hand corner of the machine. It's going to get a little bit noisy, so I'm going to put the camera down, get the machine started, and then we quickly come back and I'll show you this screen whizzing around, and then I'll show you some of the machine cutting. And then we'll come back once the machine has cut something, we've got something to look at actually on the table. We'll do some more video for you then, so I'll see you shortly. So here we've got the machine running. You can see on the left hand side the numbers scrolling up the screen. Well, the stationary at the moment is doing one manoeuvre. There, it's jumping now, and that's sending the commands down to the router, and that's cutting the parts. You can see the numbers on the X, Y and Z also moving, and that is telling me where the machine is. And if you look very closely at the crosshair, you can see the crosshair is now not at the bottom left hand corner, it's actually showing what it's done. You can't see much down here at the moment. Here we go, there's some of your parts being cut here. So this is one of the slots here for the carbon dust at the moment. But as it progresses I'll show you some more parts. The slots look pretty boring, there's not much to see. But yeah, we're on our way. Okay, that's all the slots done. Now the machine has followed the commands I gave it. It's now waiting for me to change the tool bit, and it's telling me here that it's waiting for me to fit a 2mm bit, and this is where the spindle has ended up. So the last slot it cut, it's parked itself there, and once I've changed the bit, the command here is then press start once I've finished and I've changed the tool. So once I change the tool I have to re-zero. So obviously the tool in there, say the tool length is 30mm. When I put a new tool in, because I haven't got an automatic tool changer, the tool I put in might actually only be 25mm. So I re-zero the machine to say when the end of the cutting bit is touching the carbon, that's where the carbon starts, otherwise it wouldn't know where it is. So it's just reconfiguring the machine, so telling it where the top of the carbon is, otherwise we'd be either cutting in fresh air or we'd be driving the bit through the carbon fibre and into the machine table. So I'm just going to pause the video. I will get the this is the circles going to come on now, and once we've got a few circles cut I'll show you those in the carbon. Cheers for now. Okay, here we have all the circles done, and I've screwed all the parts down to the table. So I'm just going to reset the machine now and do the exciting part, which is cut out the profiles, and then we'll see the parts actually appear out the carbon sheet. Okay, ladies and gents, there we go. That was 57 minutes to cut the outsides. So I've just hoovered the dust up. Now I've got to actually de-dust the parts, unscrew them, and then my favourite job is washing the parts twice to get rid of the dust. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so that's all the 2mm parts done. We're moving on to the 3mm parts. These are a lot smaller. So this is double-sided carbon fibre, so it's the glossy finish both sides. So I'm going to use the different method, one I prefer. What I do here, I put a layer of masking tape straight on the carbon fibre, and then this tape is cut in half like a carpet tape, so it's double-sided sticky tape. What I do there, I then peel that off and I turn it over and I stick it down onto the MDF wasteboard here, and it fixes the parts down really nicely, and it's quite easy to get off. The masking tape is used on the carbon because the masking tape peels off quite easy, and because these parts are quite big, they're not going to move. Using a 3mm burr bit here, and it's a lot quicker because it's obviously thicker. I believe it's going 8mm a minute, sorry, 8mm a second. So let's just move and there you have your 3mm parts.